another episode of the Deep Impact Podcast. I'm your host this evening, this night, this All Hallows Eve. I don't know when this episode's coming out.
Boo Walker.
Boo Walker, yeah. It's Bo again. Hi. Uh, I am tired, but I'm not as tired as the other two gentlemen joining me tonight, Mr. Jason Cephas and Mr. Mark Carson.
Hello.
We're getting a couple minute we're getting about a 20-minute late start here because Mark was asleep, passed out on the couch.
That is a fact. When you have children, sometimes they like to wake up at 1:30 in the morning, grab the edge of their crib, and then just scream.
I like to do
and
that.
Then won't go back there.
I was gonna say I also like to do that, but it's when my alarm goes off and I realize that I have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, that's
also
fair.
accurate.
Yes, but it's not the side of my crib. It's like my dresser. I'm just like, yeah, you get it. I'm not gonna yell for you guys, but so sports balls. We got that going on right now.
We drinking?
Oh, me? I got a little bit of Basil Hayden.
I have a tropical beer hug.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
It's an Imperial IPA.
That does not sound yummy.
I bought this pack of beer, and they're all like neon cans. They look pretty cool, and they're all something beer hug, but they're all IPAs. There's an Imperial, a hazy, a regular IPA, and then a second hazy IPA. It's tropical, secret, hazy, and neon, and they're all called beer hugs.
That's just one type of beer that I cannot get around. I cannot get behind. I don't know why. I think it's the hoppiness for me. I like stouts. I like
they're hoppy, but this beer, this tropical one, is 9.9.
Well, I will see you tomorrow then.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I had them last weekend. There's a 9.9, a 6.5, 6.8, and a 7.
Mine's a good old 45%.
Basil Hayden. What is that? Is that bourbon?
Bourbon. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's a 9. It might be a 90 proof. I'm pretty sure. But anyhow, sports balls. We got the beginning of the Wheeling Nailers hockey season. We've got Thursday night football going on right now as we record. We also have, the NFL. We got the Ohio State University going up. A big game this week against the Penn State Nittany Lions. And something that I haven't cared about all season that I actually care about now, the World Series. We've got the last 7 games potentially of the MLB this season. So where do we want to start, boys?
Let's go with baseball.
All right, baseball. We have the Houston Astros going up against the Philadelphia Phillies. I cannot believe that I have to root for a team from Philadelphia because I am not rooting for them cheating assholes down in Houston.
Same. It hurts to say.
Philly, let's do it. Come on.
It hurts to say, but Philly, you have one job.
They have arguably one of the greatest mascots in sports.
Yep.
Okay, the Philly Fanatic.
Yep.
But that doesn't stop the city from being a bunch of assholes.
Correct.
All right. Philly, you got one job here. You got to beat Houston. It's going to be a tough one because Houston is a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
They have the potential Cy Young winner on their team, Justin Verlander. Yeah. Philly, you got it cut out for you guys. All right. Bryce Harper, we're rooting for you. Let's get it done.
I'm not. I that's the one player that I cannot root for is Bryce Harper. Everyone else on the Phillies, go. Bryce Harper suck.
Doesn't correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he play for them this season? No, I am wrong. Never mind. He plays for the team that they beat to get to the championship. I was going to say Josh Bell from the former Pittsburgh Pirates fame played for the Phillies. He does not. He plays for the Padres, who got beat.
Yep.
But
which is unfortunate. I wanted to see the Padres do good.
I did too.
And it kind of makes you wonder, like, they went all in at the deadline to getting Juan Soto.
Mm-hmm.
If Tatis Jr. doesn't get suspended or hurt in the first place, like, we could be talking about them in the World Series. So
exactly.
I think right off the bat, I think San Diego is going to be a team for next year to look out for. And at the end of the day, it's not the Yankees or it's not the Dodgers. So how bad can it be, really?
Yeah, Dodgers got eliminated in the first round of the playoffs.
111 wins.
Yeah. What's that big money roll getting you there, guys? Nothing. A first round ejection.
And I
Can't
think it was
say anything because I am a Pirates fan and we did not make it anywhere near the playoffs.
I think it
But
was I think it might have been the LA Times. I can't remember who it was now, but there was a newspaper article printed in Los Angeles, and they literally said, like, I think it was either like right before the playoffs started or it was right before the Dodgers got eliminated, but they basically said like 111 wins should just automatically give you the World Series. And they listed off like all the records that the team broke this year and all that. And
yeah,
everyone's like, no, like you
no,
gotta,
you still gotta play it.
yeah. So that just makes me happy. The Yankees losing, they have a pretty big offseason coming up because Aaron Judge is going to be looking for a new contract, and that man is going to get paid so much money. So much.
Now, here's my question. Is he staying
He's not
in New
going
York?
to the Pirates?
No, Jesus, no.
Okay. Yeah.
God, no. Bob Nutting doesn't have enough money to buy him.
If he would go to the Pirates, if he would accept 2 30-packs of Icy Light and a pack of Fritos.
Yes. Maybe
as a signing bonus.
Maybe
they could probably pay him pretty well per game, but his signing bonus is going to suck. So, yeah, I mean, we could, if we're feeling really cool, we could throw in like season concert tickets to like Star Lake. We could probably push together that as a fan base. But other than that, I mean, if you're cool with beer and Fritos, we're your franchise.
Yep, exactly. Maybe a year's supply of Permane sandwiches.
You know what? I'll even for my sake, I'll even throw in a year's supply of Mrs. T's pierogies because of the pierogi race for the Pirates.
Oh yeah,
I'll be that guy.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I haven't made pierogies in a while. I need to do that. But where do you think he's going to re-sign with the Yankees, or do you think he's gone?
I think he resigns.
Do you?
I think he resigns.
I look for him to go to one of 3 places if he does not resign. Okay, first option, there are 4 options here. 1, he's re-signing with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, he's going to the Padres if they can afford it.
Oh man,
could you imagine that?
They should be able to. I mean,
Manny Machado, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Aaron Judge. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't need any other players in your batting lineup right there.
I mean, that's a scary look, and especially when, again, I mean, they beat the Dodgers this year, who looked unbeatable. So, I mean, who knows?
I was gonna say Dodgers could be another potential that he could go to.
Dodgers are always in the running for somebody.
And then the Mets.
Oh, I don't see him. As fun as that would be,
I could see him wanting to stay in the city of New York.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how the contracts and everything like that are, but I mean, It could happen. Or, he could go to another, he could, a small market team could be like, you know what, we're gonna pay for him. He could end up as a Miami Marlin.
What about the Red Sox?
What
about the Red Sox? What if they kind of pull a reverse?
I don't know. He's definitely gonna be the one to watch this offseason.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where he's going,
he's gonna get so much money wherever he goes. He's gonna get so much money. It's gonna be ridiculous.
It's scary. But all right, let's start moving to another sport because we got at least a couple more to cover.
Yep.
The NFL.
Did anyone else see today starts 27 days in a row with football?
Yep. Yes, it's a great time to be alive. But all I'm going to say as a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, the Steelers suck.
The Packers suck too, buddy. It's all right.
Okay. Yes, I'm not denying that. I saw an article today saying that if Matt Canada's offense does not perform well in this next game, his job might be on the line. His fucking job should have been on the line week 1.
That is fair.
Okay. Matt Canada might be the worst offensive coordinator in the league. Me personally, going into the season, I knew that this was a rebuilding season. Like, I knew we weren't coming out here and we were contending for a Super Bowl. There was no way, no chance in hell.
Every great team goes through bad years.
Exactly.
All of them. It's inevitable.
I mean, you got to think. We just got a new quarterback for the first time in 18 years.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly. I mean,
so obviously there's going to be some kind of difference. But when you know that both of your quarterbacks have potential and then they're not throwing the ball over the middle of the field. Like, you have slot receivers that can catch the ball when they want to, i.e. Deontay Johnson, Claypool. Claypool is another story. Green Bay can fucking have him. Give us a pack of fruit gushers and he's yours. All right, he's gone.
I'll take.
I don't know why you hate him so much. He's so good.
He's not. He is trash.
Yeah, that's what you said about Juju as well. Juju was not trash either.
No, I love Juju.
Well, I don't know why you don't like Claypool. They're like the same guy.
In fact, they are not.
They're pretty close. Pretty close talent-wise.
Do you say Claypool is talentless? Yes, I agree.
I said they're pretty close talent-wise.
No, so Chase Claypool he is pure talent. Like, he has that raw talent, that raw ability that he can play. I think it's all a mindset. He is trying to go and make the big play, the highlight reel catches. He's trying to do that instead of making these easy catches when, he'll jump and try and catch the ball when he could have stayed on his feet and caught the ball and kept moving.
So if you want Chase Claypool to make these easy throws, then throw to him on 1st and 10, do a short route over the middle. They don't. They always make him run burn runs straight down the sidelines.
Exactly.
It's not Chase Claypool's fault.
No,
it's the play caller.
It is Matt Canada.
You dump the guy down the sidelines every stinking play, and you don't have a quarterback who's that accurate. Now, Kenny Pickett's got talent. He's just not incredibly accurate. You've got to reel Chase Claypool in. Chase Claypool wants to be that Devontae Adams, that Juju Smith-Schuster, that Cooper Kupp, who is deep all the time, catching these crazy balls, but you're going to have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers who can throw deep. He doesn't have a catch. That's Aaron Rodgers' problem right now. And Aaron Rodgers, peyote.
Yeah, no, it wasn't peyote. It was ayahuasca.
Whatever, I don't know what he's doing. He's just being a jagaloon and he's stressing me out.
But no, I completely agree with you that it is not. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna give Claypool another year. I mean, if he isn't traded, before the end of the season. But if Matt Canada is still the offensive coordinator, no, he's not going.
I really do like
very talented wide receiver, but he is not going to succeed in Matt Canada's offense.
Chase Claypool is a receiver that you can put him on any team and he's going to make an impact. I don't care what team it is. Pick any team in the NFL, even a team that has good wide receivers, and he's going to make an impact on that team. If Green Bay picked him up, Green Bay's going to start to look a lot better on offense. It's not going to instantly make them start winning games, but they're going to look a lot better on offense. I mean, Alan Lazard's been consistently hurt this season. That's about the only thing he can do consistently. And Aaron Rodgers has been consistently inaccurate. But I think adding somebody who is that comfortability. I mean, look at when Randall Cobb was playing, Green Bay had 2 wins. They were 2-1 when Randall Cobb was playing, when Lazard wasn't hurt, but now he's lost the 2 guys that he can throw to consistently just about anywhere, and they're not playing, and he can, and they'll make a play for him.
And that's,
Aaron Rodgers, he's like, well, we got a lot of learning to do. Aaron Rodgers, shut up. You don't want to learn. You don't want to teach these young guys. Nope. You want to be like Tom Brady, be thrown into a system that's going to win a Super Bowl, and that's what you want. I'm glad Aaron Rodgers stayed. I am, because I love the guy. But, Aaron Rodgers is kind of my last hope that there's a little bit of respect left in the league, that you still care for your team. And he doesn't just follow the money. Now Aaron Rodgers got paid at Green Bay, and they're there. So I think Chase Claypool needs to leave Pittsburgh. I think a lot of Pittsburgh fans hate him. He needs to get out of Pittsburgh. He's a great he's a great wide receiver in the league. I mean, I hate saying, he's top.
I would.
I'm not gonna say he's a top 10 because I probably could sit here and name 10 wide receivers who I think are better than Chase Claypool.
I would say
but
maybe top.
Yeah, I'm going top 15, top 20 wide receiver for
I'd
sure.
Say 25. Yeah, but
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could sit here and name you 25 guys that are better than Chase Claypool, but I guarantee I can name you 10 I think are better than Chase Claypool.
Absolutely. But I am going to say though that the Steelers, in my opinion, in this draft, this offseason, you need to get offensive line help and you need to get wide receiver help. Okay. I seriously think that they need better wide receiver options and they need to shore up that offensive line so that Najee Harris has the ability to run. You see, they hand the ball off, the line collapses.
The Steelers' problem is Mike Tomlin's too concerned about his statistic where he's never had a losing season, and they needed to do the Cincinnati method and just let him not be good. Joe Burrow, before he was injured, was garbage. I mean, he won some games, but they let him suck. They let him learn how to be an NFL player, and then look what happened. What was it, the following season or 2 seasons later?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Joe Burrow is an elite quarterback in the NFL, and I really do believe it's because they let him fail. They let him play in those games, make the adjustments he needed to make live in the game, and they didn't wait. He didn't sit behind another garbage quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, I understand his stats were okay. You can throw out all the excuses that Mitch Trubisky, he was in Chicago, so he didn't have the advantage that he needed. You're in the NFL. You should be a good quarterback. Like Justin Fields. Justin Fields is starting to figure it out and showing that he's not just a crappy quarterback, even though he plays for a crappy team. So get the whole Mitch Trubisky thing. He's a garbage quarterback. You shouldn't have put Kenny Pickett behind him. I don't care what some of our Steelers friends say. I know James doesn't like Kenny Pickett. The Steelers picked him. They should have went with him week 1.
Yep.
Let the guy. I don't think the results would have been different. I think you might have even more losses, actually. I think Trubisky helped you get a few of those early wins. But I think Kenny Pickett is the guy in Pittsburgh. He needs the backing of the fan base, the backing of his coaching staff and his players. They just need to feel that they need to go play for him and just be done with it.
Mm-hmm. Nope, I agree. Do you think that Justin Fields has the potential to be one of the best Ohio State quarterbacks to come out of or in the NFL? To come out of Ohio State.
I think
there's not many. There's not many.
I think Justin Fields will be the best quarterback that Ohio State's ever produced in the NFL.
Speaking of Ohio State,
CJ Stroud's quarterback.
I was going to say, speaking of Ohio State, they got a big game this week. Boom.
They do have a big game this week.
That is what we call a segue, ladies and gentlemen. Ohio State does have a big game this week. They are playing the Nittany Lions. It is away, correct? It is in Happy Valley?
Yep.
Which is it's a very hard place to play. Okay, it is a very hard field to go into, and Penn State is ranked 13th. Okay, this is Ohio State's first real ranked team because Notre Dame was, but they kind of fell off the wagon. But yeah, so this is going to be a challenge. Ohio State
last week did not fill me with any confidence.
First half did not. Second half, I got a little bit more confident.
Second half, they actually looked like Ohio State football.
Yes.
But that first half was, oh my God.
It was rough. It was rough.
It was, they looked like they didn't know what to do. Now, understand in their defense, they were coming off of a bye week.
Yes.
But you're Ohio State.
And
afford to look that bad. CJ
They
Stroud,
usually do look that bad coming off a bye week, though. Historically, the first half after a bye week, they usually do suck. But they were going up against the number 1 defense in the country.
Yeah, but the thing is if Iowa had an offense, period, Ohio State probably loses that game. That's.
See, I didn't really get to watch it,
and I only say probably because Ohio State did remember who they were come the second half finally. But just the mental mistakes that they kept making was just brutal. CJ Stroud did not look anything remotely close to a Heisman candidate.
They can't do that.
No.
They do that this week, they lose.
Yes. They need to start out like they have every game aside from the Notre Dame game, and they need to just come out, fire on all cylinders, and not make any stupid mistakes. Another thing with this team this year that is driving me up the wall, we are made of glass. Jackson Smith-Njigba, holy crap, the guy can't stay healthy to save his life. That hamstring is made of glass. I'm fully convinced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my God. And it's not just him, but Mayan Williams missed time. Trayvon Henderson missed time. Like, it's all these big guys. And but the one thing that this team has done very good at is having guys jump in and fill that role perfectly. Jackson goes down and Harrison Jr. comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Marvin Harrison. Emeka Egbuka comes in, and
he's having a stellar season.
They both are.
They are.
I mean, it really has been a weird year, in my opinion, for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Like, they have looked so good with a lot of injuries, and the times that they have looked bad, they usually fix. Yeah. However, when you go up against teams like Penn State and you eventually get to Michigan, you can't make mistakes.
No.
You can't afford to make mistakes. CJ Stroud can't afford to overthrow guys 17 times in the first half.
No.
17 was an exaggeration, but that's what it felt like.
Yes. So, Ohio, like we said, Ohio State is playing Penn State. Very big game. We got some other big games this week, too. Number 1 Georgia going into the Swamp in Gainesville, Florida. It's a tough place to play, and the Gators haven't looked the best this season. They're 4-3. Can the Gators do it? Probably not.
I think it'll be close.
I was going to say ESPN has it at 22.5.
Okay. I think I could totally see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Georgia wins, but I think it'll be closer than what people may give it.
One that's close to us, TCU versus WVU in Morgantown.
Oh, TCU's gonna swarm them.
They only have it 7.5, but I think TCU's gonna kill them.
TCU's gonna.
Notre Dame and Syracuse. Syracuse coming off that loss last week. Syracuse only 2 points.
Interested to see Syracuse and how they bounce back after. Let's be honest, a game that they probably should have won.
Yep. Number 9 Oklahoma State against number 22 Kansas State. It's only 1.5 point spread there. Pitt and North Carolina, ACC battle there. That's always a good game, no matter what.
Yeah.
UNC is a 3-point favorite. Ole Miss and Texas A&M. If you want to go to this game, you got to save up money. Okay. These tickets are going for a whopping $2.
I mean, in all honesty, that probably might not be that terrible of a game.
I mean, Ole Miss is 7-1. Texas A&M is 3-4. Had the best draft class or the best recruiting class coming into this season. Ole Miss is 2-point favorites.
Texas A&M always pulls off that one upset. It feels.
Yep.
Like. So.
We got 3-4 Michigan State going into Ann Arbor against number 4 Michigan.
And Michigan's gonna clean them.
Yep. And the game this week, apart from there are 2 big games this week. Okay, Ohio State, Penn State is probably bigger than this next one. Number 19 Kentucky going into Neyland Stadium, hot off a win, a week removed from Alabama. Number 3 Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee's only 12-point favorites on this.
Yeah, this might be the one week where Tennessee looks vulnerable.
It does, but I think CJ, like I said, Ohio State. I think CJ Stroud is gonna have a bounce back game.
He better.
He better have a bounce back game. He's gonna have a bounce back game against Penn State. Hendon Hooker is gonna go off against Kentucky's defense. Mark my words.
He might. I mean, we always seem to shout shout this guy out on this show, but Uniswag, do you
Oh,
see their
oh,
blackout
oh,
uniforms?
listen, Tennessee's uniforms are making them become my second favorite team.
Those are
I mean, the way they're playing and them uniforms. Oh, sweet Jesus.
those
They're
blackout uniforms are.
I just love that orange anyhow. That orange has just got such a nice little like sharp tint to it, but with the contrast on that black and then the smoke grays. Oh God, they're beautiful. Let's move on. We're gonna move to our next sport. The NBA. No one gives a shit. All right, the NHL. Uh let's, let's go hockey. All right, Mark.
I thought you were legitimately going to the NBA for a second. I'm like,
No one,
like that
no one gives a shit about
legitimately
the
caught me
NBA.
off guard.
The
All right.
Lakers suck this year.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk hockey. All right.
Yeah. So the Nailers kicked off their season last week, coming out strong at a winning start. I will say though, it's coming together. It was a slow start. It's coming together. Toledo that's what they do is they light up the scoreboard like it's the ball at New Year's Eve in Times Square. That's just what they do. In the first game, Saturday night, Nailers looked really good, like really, really good. They were winning puck battles. They were out hitting. They were out skating. And I told pretty much everyone this. They matched up so much better than they did last year in the playoffs. Toledo mounted the comeback on the heels of a defenseman who decided he was going to be all fancy and pull off a lacrosse goal, which no one saw coming. Oh, dude, it was sick. Like,
Was it?
oh my god! And he's a defenseman, mind you. That in itself is a forward doing it is incredible. A defenseman, that's like not even
Thought of, heard of.
Yeah, yeah. And after that, man, the Nailers took their foot off the gas, and you can't do that against Toledo. The second game,
they just didn't play great. I mean, it's a new team, and I hate using that excuse too. It's a new team, new year. But I think the beauty of the ECHL, in my opinion, is that 1 year to the next, you could return 15 of your guys, and then the next year you could return 3. Luckily, they have a goaltender who's pretty solid. He did not have a great first game. Then the Nailers' backup goaltender, who started game 2, let 2 goals in 26 seconds.
Keep in mind, though, it was his
first ever pro debut.
It was his pro debut. So cut him.
He did get it together.
I cut him a little slack. He looked good. He did kind of pull it together. And I talked to him after the game and just told him, congratulated him on his first game. And he said, yeah, he was obviously not the start I wanted to it. I was like, hey, you battled back and, you still, at the end of the day, he still gave his team somewhat of a chance to mount a comeback. So for me, that's what I look.
You remove those first 30 seconds. Remove those first 30
2-2
seconds.
Game.
Yeah, that's what much like he said game. When Jason was skating with him at the end. It's if you remove those first 30 seconds, it's a 2-2 game, and I think I still don't think Wheeling would have won that game. Toledo definitely had the advantage that night, but they got another game tomorrow. Actually, be 28th. So I don't know when we're gonna post this, but Friday they have a game. They're playing the Cincinnati Cyclones, and then Sunday they have another game. They're playing the Iowa Heartlanders, which is a team I have yet to see. So I'm kind of excited to see a team I've never seen.
It's like I said, it's coming together.
When did you say that game was?
Friday is the Cyclones, Frosty Friday, and then Sunday is the Iowa Heartlanders. Heartlanders logo is really cool. Side tip: if you haven't seen that logo, look it up. It's actually a pretty interesting logo.
Is that the deer?
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite logo in the ECHL.
Logo in the ECHL, hands down, coolest logo in the ECHL. Nope, coolest logo. Look it up. Savannah Ghosts. Jason, I don't want to hear your opinion on it because.
Who did you say?
The Savannah Ghost Pirates.
Are they
inaugural season?
Are they in the ECHL?
Yeah, this is their inaugural season. They aren't playing Wheeling this year because they're obviously, I don't know exactly. Are they in Georgia? I assume Savannah, Georgia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Georgia. Okay.
Well, but I'm sure there's a Savannah, Ohio. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Ohio, but,
Quick quiz. Who is their NHL affiliate?
Vegas.
the Kraken.
No, it is Vegas.
Really?
Yes.
Is it really Vegas?
Yep.
Oh. Speaking of that, go back to the NHL. My homeboy, Phil the Thrill, tearing up the NHL. My homeboy, glad he's on my Batman Returns fantasy hockey team. I do. First off,
Naylor, I barely know her.
dude, we do a quick side rant here. All of our friends have interesting names, minus our friend Kyle Sutphin, whose team is Team Sutphin.
Boo, Kyle, come on. Step
Yeah,
up.
my team is Batman Returns. Then we have Bo. Bo, what's your team?
Naylor, I barely know her, as in the
Yeah.
Wheeling Nailers. I mean, that is my logo. Is
My buddy Reed. My buddy Reed is Gensel's Pretzels.
That's who that is. That's who I'm playing this week.
Bo's cousin Josh is Cookie Monsters and has Matt Cook as his logo. Our homeboy James. Also, side note for James, his team name is Team Piazza. But our homeboy does not have internet right now. Going through some internet issues there in the good old state of Kansas. He's in Missouri. I lied. But I mean, they're practically neighbors. I mean, he can.
Yeah, the city. Okay, whatever.
He lives in one, works in the other, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
But having some internet issues, so he will join us one of these days coming up. Then my brother's name is Papa Grande. Not really sure why that is his name, but nonetheless, shout out my brother. And then Jason
might have the best. Jason might have the best team name.
I was gonna say, like, his team name. I won't say his team name. He can say it, but Kasperi Kapanen is one of my favorite Penguins players.
I also just want to point out that I was not expecting this from Jason for his team name.
His first team name, his original team name when he told me was going to be Soft Dumps in the Corner, and I really enjoyed that name a lot.
That's good. That's a good one.
The more that Jason tells me about his name, it's a good one.
So it comes from Kasperi Kapanen himself. From his Instagram, he made a comment a number of years ago on someone's post, and all he said was cheeks clap. And
it's so good.
Penguins Twitter, for whatever reason, found that and have started running it. Like, there's t-shirts being made for the team, mind you. So I saw that, and I saw the buzz that it was getting on like Pittsburgh Twitter, and I knew that that's what it had to be. I might have to buy a Cheeks Clappin' shirt now just so I can say that my fantasy hockey team has shirts.
That's good.
I'm down with that. I need one of those. I have my it's the Thriller album from Michael Jackson, and it says Phil the Thriller. So I might have to add that. I might have to add a Cheeks Clappin' shirt to my.
That's a good one.
Repertoire.
Yeah, kind of backtracking a little bit to what Mark was saying.
Sorry.
Phil Kessel, the hot dog man, Mr. Two-time Stanley Cup champion with your Pittsburgh Penguins, now a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, recently became the NHL's Iron Man. If you're not familiar with that term, an Ironman streak is for the most consecutive games played. Phil Kessel is now the NHL's Iron Man at 990 consecutive games played.
That is ridiculous.
It's nuts. Phil Kessel. If you don't know who Phil Kessel is, look him up. He does not look like a hockey player, but he is, and he's really good at it. But yeah, 990 consecutive hockey games. That is just mind-boggling.
Not keep an eye out. Tuesday, November 1st, when the Vegas Golden Knights are taking on the shittiest team in the NHL, the Washington Capitals, could be Phil Kessel's 1,000th consecutive game. Pending he doesn't get hurt, they play tomorrow. They play the Ducks at home. They play the Jets on Sunday, and then they play Tuesday in Washington. So could be Phil Kessel's 1,000th consecutive game, which is, hey, that's a heck of a feat for anyone. Especially, Phil Kessel's not a young buck. You know, he's not an old guy, but he's definitely not a young buck in the league.
And I mean, you look at, we talked about it, I think the last sports episode that we did, we talked about just how grueling hockey is, and to play 990 consecutive games,
I thought he was on 97. I thought you said what 997.
No.
Oh, 990.
Well, okay. I don't know exactly where he's at the time this is coming out, but he to break the record he needed 990 and he got it.
Okay.
I mean, you also got to look at like when he came to Pittsburgh, they immediately won back-to-back Stanley Cups. So they played until June both years, and those two teams they played the most amount of games a team could possibly play in that time span.
Yep.
And the fact that he did not miss a game, you come back the next year and you go to the second round. That's still, I mean, even the second round is just getting there is just so taxing.
So I do apologize. Jason Uwark was 9. That was on Tuesday. So strike my 997. I'm not sure where I got that number. Anyway, November 17th, when the Knights are at home, which would be even cooler, they take on Phil Kessel's old team, the Arizona Phoenix. It's the Arizona Coyotes on November 17th at 10 p.m. Be his 1,000th consecutive game. So pretty cool. He gets to do it at home. Hopefully, I mean he's a stud, man. I love Phil Kessel. He's always consistent. He's like my he was kind of like my Joey Votto pick. Like when I picked Joey Votto in our MLB, Joey Votto is just always consistent, and so that's kind of why I picked him. He's always consistent.
Yep, he is.
Somehow, some way, he gets it done.
That he does. I think if we don't got any, is that all we got tonight, boys?
I do want to throw in one more thing. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely.
Shout out to the Wheeling Lightning Bird.
Oh,
a
ladies team.
The first professional women's hockey team in the city of Wheeling. What?
They're 2-0.
Oh, yes, they are.
Don't they play the weekend of the 4th and 5th?
Yeah, it'll be this not this weekend coming up. It'll be the first weekend in November.
Sure. Yeah, I've not made it to a game yet, but I do want to.
I know someone who's on the team.
Nice.
That you do. She was at. I think she went to our symphony concert.
Yep,
we went to.
She was at the symphony, and my mom and I went and talked to her while we were waiting to get into our car because the parking lot was so congested.
Yeah. Shout out.
Tell her to hook us up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free admission.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's free admission to their games. They are playing at West Banco Arena.
Yeah.
And I just like, for me personally, as I've talked about on this show many, many times, hockey is my life, and I want it to just grow. I want to do my part in trying to grow the game, and I mean, what they're doing is awesome. Like,
yeah, in a couple weeks, another cool, really cool thing hockey does. I know, Bo, I'm pretty sure you got to see it last season. The Nailers always do, not always, but several seasons recently, they've done a Pittsburgh Penguins night.
Oh.
And at one of the intermissions for that game is, in my opinion, is one of the coolest hockey things to ever experience. It's the Pittsburgh blind hockey team that is there. And if you've never seen blind hockey, you got to sit there and be really quiet, obviously. But they play with they really explain it well when you're there. If you take a couple seconds and look up blind hockey, how they play it. It's a pretty oversized puck. I don't know the exact dimensions of it.
It's about like that.
Yeah, and it kind of sounds like it's got bells in it, like cowbells kind of clanking around. And they've got every position just like you would in normal hockey.
Yep.
It's really cool, and not everybody on the team is, I guess I want to say, completely blind. Some of them are just have a visual impairment. Yeah, they're all legally blind in their certification. But yeah, it's super interesting. You've never seen. Take a look at it.
All right, so with that, I think we're going to wrap up for this evening. The Ravens and the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers are getting ready to start. So I'm going to get off here and go watch that game. But Jason, where can they find us?
You can find us on our social medias. We got Twitter, we got Instagram, and we've got Facebook. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor. And what I think is most important, you can watch us on YouTube. And when you do, click subscribe, click like. When you click subscribe, there's going to be a little bell that pops up. Hit the bell.
It was better when it was on the table because I wasn't muffling it.
One of these days, we're gonna get the pating down, and it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna just get a fucking bell. Like at this point.
Too.
All right. So I'm gonna go watch football. Football, hockey. Football's back. 22 days of it. Bye-bye.